Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is said to be a very emotional film by writer and director J.J. Abrams in comparison to both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. So what's really great about this movie is that we do know that they are going to do a great service for the characters of Rey, Poe, Finn, Kylo Ren, and a whole lot more characters such as Luke Skywalker, Lando Calrissian, and even General Leia Organa. Now these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it all comes down to one of the set leaks and one of the concept art descriptions. This is where things begin to get very exciting for the characters of Rey and General Leia. Now specifically, what's really intriguing is that it's described that one of the scenes that were filmed during the month of September 2018 included a sequence in which Daisy Ridley was dressed in a white outfit that is similar or the same as seen in the teaser trailer, where it's described that Daisy was standing in front of a green screen handing the family lightsaber to Leia, where the unused and deleted scene from The Force Awakens of Leia receiving her brother's lightsaber from Maz Kanata was being reworked into a sequence in which Rey instead hands it over to Leia, where she examines an object that once belonged to her brother and father that is now back into one piece. It's described that the scene needed to be reshot for some of the angles to digitally insert the updated Skywalker saber design. One of the sequences involved a plan in place where Carrie Fisher as Leia would ignite a lightsaber for the first time on screen, where her face would glow in a bright blue hue, where it's said to be a sequence where Leia expresses to Rey that her regret of not taking the role of a Jedi like her brother, and that maybe if she did, she wouldn't have failed her own son. The sequence is also said to include a shot where Leia deactivates the lightsaber and hands it back to Rey, where she says it's rightfully hers, where Rey insists that it should stay with her. It's said to be a sequence in which Leia pushes to Rey to keep her brother's legacy alive and that she is the seed of the future of the Jedi, where she asks Rey a favor to try and help her son. The scene is described to progress to a scene in which Leia guides Rey outside of a Resistance base, where they eventually hug and both Rey and Leia cry and have an emotional moment together. This is described to lead to a sequence that leads to the moment where Rey boards the Millennium Falcon and flies out of the atmosphere with Poe and Finn. This is described to be the moment in which Poe also is given a moment with Leia before leaving, where she hugs Poe and wishes him luck. So what I like about this scene is not only is it very emotional and seems very authentic as far as, what Leia would be thinking about her brother and what she would be thinking about her own son Ben Solo and where Rey is going. The only thing that I honestly would love to see is that at the very end of this movie, the Skywalker lightsaber stays in the hands of Leia permanently, pretty much staying with the Skywalker family. That's how I would love to see things. But from where things are going, Rey is going to carry on Luke's legacy, pretty much forever until she passes it down to the next Jedi student or whoever that's going to be, right? So this also does actually attach that sequence that we saw in the teaser trailer. The mention of course, Rey and Leia hugging each other after the scene in which Leia ignites her brother's lightsaber, where her whole entire face is pretty much, lit up in a blue hue. You can really see how parts of the teaser kind of tell us pieces of the scene that are going to be digitally reintroduced in Episode 9. You guys may remember the original The Force Awakens trailer, where we do see Maz Kanata handing Luke Skywalker's saber hilt over to General Leia. They're essentially using that scene and digitally inserting the new saber design in order to rework it and make it feel like it's up to date with the current movie, which honestly I think is a really good move in order to really make something truly authentic to, of course, the character of Leia, and really just getting a little grasp of her brother's legacy. After all, I don't even know, guys. I don't even know if she ever saw the lightsaber, up until Rey got this thing, obviously, right? Now, other than A New Hope, she hasn't seen this thing in decades. I highly doubt that she even got a glimpse of this in between, because Kylo Ren either had it in his hands at a certain point in time, or so on and so forth. So the other piece that I would like to go over is that this also attaches to a sequence in which they board the Millennium Falcon and depart this Resistance base area. So this also tells us that this is the moment in which Poe Dameron, departs on his own with Rey and Finn and takes on the role of General at a certain point in time in this movie. We do know that eventually Poe Dameron will be referred to as General Dameron in this movie, kind of similar to what they did with Han Solo, when they kept calling him General Solo. They're doing something similar in a sense with that, and I think that's going to be a very cool callback, making Poe Dameron basically the new Han in The Rise of Skywalker. Seems like a great bet here. Now, I think that this is JJ's last chance to really do something very amazing for the character of Leia and to do something very special for her. Since this is the final film of a Skywalker saga, it really is very important for, not just JJ, but also for the entire Star Wars community to really see a great payoff for the character in this film, and I think that her igniting her brother's lightsaber is definitely going to be on the top of the list here, and from what's being described, I think it's going to be a very beautiful and emotional sequence. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.